That's funny.
I had this weird dream where I was in part of like some sort of a cult, and like that tall guy from Babe, you know, the movie with the talking pig.
Oh, yeah.
Cromwell, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Walter Cromwell, maybe. Anyway, he's like
James Cromwell.
James
Close.
Cromwell. Thanks. Yeah. He's like in bed, and I'm standing at the foot of the bed, and he's like the cult leader, and I've done something that the cult doesn't like. I don't even know what it is, but they're judging me. I'm being judged, and he gets out of bed, and he's like starts painting my head with like chicken blood or something like that, and I'm like, I think shit's about to go poorly, and I'm like, God told me in a vision that I had been judged and that we were cool now. I'm hoping that he'll be like, really? You saw the Lord in a vision? But no, he's not buying it at all because he's a cult leader. He doesn't believe in God. He believes in fucking underage girls. That's what cult leaders do. And he starts dragging me toward this wall where there's like manticles, like those metal cuffs with chains. Like they're about to chain me up and like kill me. And I see there's a shotgun in the corner. It's like an old timey double barrel with the hammers that pull back. And so I get that, and I'm just trying to threaten him. But some crazy lady is coming at me with a sickle. So I blast her. Just give her one of the barrels. And then that made James Cromwell, I mean, he was already 6'6", but he must have grown to like 7'6" between me blasting the lady with the sickle and looking back toward him. And now he's like really coming at me. So I blast him too. And I run for the door. And this has upset a whole mess of cult members.
You're out of barrels.
I'm also out of barrels.
I think it's funny that your dreams are realistic with ammunition.
Either the gun doesn't work at all, or it works exactly like it's supposed to. It's one or the other. There are no magical guns. There's no magical guns. So I run toward the door, and there's an umbrella stand full of guns, and I'm like, well, thank you very much. I get one of those magic guns that doesn't work very well, though. And every time I cock the lever, sausages are coming out the top. Like little red wieners are popping out. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll shoot a wiener at them. And I close it, and it just gets all mushed up in the mechanism because it's a fucking wiener, not a bullet. And I've really overplayed my wiener gun card. Like when I saw like 3 or 4 cult members coming, I was like, I'm here, boys. Quick, oh shit! And then
it's full of little smokies.
There's little smokies everywhere. There's juice, and they both have real guns. They both immediately go to their trucks, and one of them comes out with like a submachine gun. And at this point, I'm resigned to my fate in the dream. And my thought process is, if I antagonize them enough, they'll kill me quickly. Because it seemed like torture was the punishment of the day just a few minutes ago with those manticles and such and the chicken.
Well, you just killed James Cromwell.
Yes, just took him out. And so I was like, well, do it then. I'm not afraid. And one of them like lights me up with a submachine gun, but I'm still alive, and it hurts. It hurts in the dream. It hurt real bad. Like it felt like getting shot in the back with a paintball gun or something. And I was like, you better reload. And I look, and the other guy, like this fat fucker, has like a gigantic light machine gun. And he starts shooting the lower half of my body only, and like to torture me. So I drop down and try to put my head into the spray of bullets, and I'm just getting massacred. But I'm just laying there and not dying. Like I know I should be dead, but it's a dream. So I'm just laying there like, I'll just pretend like I'm dead, and they'll leave me alone. And then I woke up, and I was terrified, and I was breathing real hard, and that was like 40 minutes before we kicked off the show.
Dude, you've got first of all, I feel like you have a lot of nightmares.
Oh yeah.
Like a high percentage of your dreams are nightmares. I can't remember the last time I had a nightmare.
I have a nightmare every night. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, something freaky happened to me the other day. It was like, I don't know, maybe like 8 a.m. or something a week and a half ago, and we were waking up on the weekend, my girlfriend and I had woken up first, and I like got up, like got a drink of water and laid back down, and like tried to get that like extra 40 minutes of sleep when you're still tired in the morning. And she was still totally conked out, and she sat up in like that creepy way that people like still dreaming do.
Yeah.
And she goes, Taylor, you're covered in blood.
Oh God,
you're covered in blood. And then she laid back down, and fell asleep. And I was like, what?
So
I woke her up later and was like, do you remember waking up and telling me I was covered in blood? And
so where's she staying now?
No, she's in the basement, manacled to the wall. Yeah. But she's like, yeah, I just woke up and I looked over and I saw you and you were just covered in blood and blood was spurting out of your chest. And I was like, wow. And so you just went back to bed? Like, you saw that and then you just went back to bed? You didn't even try to, like, help me? She's like, I don't know. I was just trying to go back to bed. But, so now I know if I am ever bleeding to death in the middle of the night, she's not going to fucking wake up.
No, you better apply your own sutures. I
should.
Yeah, I have very vivid dreams, and I remember them pretty accurately almost all the time. And there'll be long narratives. And I've always wondered what the time dilation
like
is
the real time elapse versus the dream. I've always wondered that too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 1-to-1 or if dream time is condensed. Like if I'm experiencing an hour in my dream and 5 minutes of real world time. I bet there's some sort of like neurologist who could answer that question, maybe by looking at brainwave patterns while you're asleep or something.
Probably.
They probably
a recurring nightmare I had when I was younger. It was like it was the shortest dream, much less nightmare I've ever had, and it would like I'd get it like once every few months. But it just started with me being late for school, and my mom is already outside in the car, in the driveway, not in the garage anymore. Like, Taylor, come on, we're late, we gotta go. And I'm running out there with my backpack and my lunchbox, and I hit the button to close the garage door, and I run to try and dive through the garage door, like you have to do so you don't get the sensor and cause it to reopen. But I trip first, fall, and the garage door comes down and crushes my head and pops it like a grape, and I die. And that's the whole dream.
Damn.
It's like 30 seconds of Taylor, you're late. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to be late. Run out, trip, head crushed. And that's it.
My dad and I have similar nightmares in that we often, if we're running from a thing, we're sort of running in quicksand and like we're very uncoordinated with our running. And so like it'll get to the point where you're grabbing onto walls or the floor and pulling yourself along, like to stay coordinated. And the other one is if you're dealing with a monster and trying to use a firearm to shoot the monster or the bad guy or whatever it is, the bullets don't work. Like you can't find the right kind of bullet.
Oh, really?
Like it's like a coffee can full of like 22s, 9mm, 45s, 40s, 357s, and you've got like a 308 hunting rifle, and you're like, fuck, none of these fit this. Yeah. and so you're like putting the 40s in one pocket and the 9s in another, hoping you might stumble upon like one of those guns later on. It's a lot like playing Rust, and now you're just collecting various pieces to the puzzle. And but the guns, the bullets will often turn to mush or chocolate. And that's a thing that actually, it's interesting because that's a dream a lot of people have. It's even displayed once in The Sopranos when Tony Soprano is having this fever dream about killing his football coach, or fantasizing about doing so. He didn't actually kill him in the show. His bullets turn to chocolate, and his coach is like, "See, you're unprepared." And that's what that joke's. That's in many ways what those dreams are sort of expressing. I believe that dreams mean things. It's your subconscious doing a thing for you. It's about your fears of inadequacy or your fears of unpreparedness, stuff like that.
Actually, the nightmare I can think of that I have had in the last few years, and this seems like 90% of my nightmares are just this at this point. It is anything happening where I lose all my teeth.
Yeah.
Like
I have those.
All my teeth will fall out, and those are the only ones where I'll wake up in the morning and be like, oh.
Yeah, you check.
It was a dream.
Mine.
Did I tell you about the one
fake fucking teeth?
I had one a while back where the cap came off one of my tooth that's had a root canal, and I looked and it was full of maggots. Like the inside of my tooth, and the gum through the hole in the middle of the molar was full of maggots.
Have you ever had a dream where it's like so boring that you're surprised by it? Where like I remember when I was much younger, I had a long dream about waiting in line at an amusement park. And I woke up when we were about to get on the ride, and I remember being like, what? No, I gotta force myself to go back to sleep. I was about to be on the ride.
Yeah, you never got
like
on
it
the
was
ride.
about to be, but you can never get yourself back into the same dream. Ever.
I have this issue where sometimes I feel like I didn't do my homework. That I must have school PTSD, where I'm just completely unprepared for the class, and the feeling of dread and the weight of the pressure, it's all so real.
Yeah, we all have trauma from our education, but the way the system is set up, it's such a fear. Like I can remember it actually happening, where I get to class, and it's not that I didn't want to do the homework. I forgot it. I forgot there was homework. I didn't write it down in my agenda, and it's like, well, shit. It's this fucking heart dropping out of your chest feeling of just like, oh, this is going to be embarrassing, and I'm going to get a 0. There's nothing worse you can get, obviously, and it's like that scars you.
I
for
was
life.
a bad student, so it was like the night before I didn't prioritize it, and now I pay the piper, and I still do, apparently. Yeah,
it's so funny you were a bad student. Because like it just doesn't click with me at all. Like knowing you, the entire time I've known you, I never would have pegged you as a bad student unless you had let off with those stories.